let's start off with our top story of the day. And it's the second time that we brought this up this week. I guess this company, Kalshi, who operates in the prediction markets, doesn't want to wait to see if they can legally operate props and spreads, because they went live with it this morning. And currently, even in states where sports betting is not legal, they're presenting these potential options via their website and app. Right now, you can take a look at player props and apps and predictions and point spreads and totals on the Kalshi app. So how about that? We'll see if the Trade Commission steps in and says no go. But as of right now, with the college season opening this weekend and the NFL season opening as well, boy, do we have a can of worms that's opened up. Meanwhile, good news for the company FanDuel, sports betting operator, very popular. I'm sure you're familiar with if you've watched this show. They have found their way into the state of Missouri. They were not awarded an untethered license, but they partnered up with Major League Soccer club St. Louis City SC. So there you go. They got a partnership there, and they'll be able to be allowed to operate in Missouri. Again, they were one of the 3 applicants for 2 spots that they did not get it done, but they'll be operating anyway in this partnership with the soccer club. Now, I mentioned a quarterback change in Indianapolis. Last season, opening up the year, it was, of course, Anthony Richardson, who was a starting quarterback who they drafted very high a few years ago. Doesn't seem to be working out. Now they have to make a decision on long-term plans with Richardson, because Daniel Jones, who started the season with the Giants last year, is now Indianapolis' starting quarterback against the Miami Dolphins on September the 7th. Richardson will be the backup. Shane Steichen made the announcement this morning, talked about an intense competition that went the way of Jones. Here he is at his morning press conference.
All right, I'll start off by letting everyone know that Daniel Jones will be our starting quarterback this season. I thought the competition in training camp was great by both of those guys. I thought they both competed really hard, and it was good to see them cheering for each other and battling the way they did. And you guys heard me talk about the consistency, and that's really what I was looking for. And really the operation at the line of scrimmage, the checks, the protection, the ball placement, the completion percentage, I think all that played a factor in it. I think Daniel did a great job doing that, and I think AR has made strides in that area. But I do feel that, he still needs to continue to develop in those areas. And had a chance to talk to both of them this morning. They were both great. AR was great. He knows that he still needs to develop and learn in those areas, and he knows that he's one play away. Let those guys know, let the team know this morning. Team's very supportive of Daniel, but also supportive of AR and his new role, and he's got to attack it the right way.
Final game of the NFL preseason in week 2 went the way of the Washington Commanders. They win 31-17 and had a very impressive offensive output in this one. Quarterback play for both teams a little bit shaky, I would say. Maybe more so on the side of the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow running for his life behind that offensive line in a preseason game. Burrow said mixed results is how he would describe his final time playing in a preseason game this season.
Yeah, some good, some bad. Some plays I'd like back, obviously. Mistakes that we can't make in the regular season made tonight, but that's why it's the preseason.
Take that sack on the second series, so it's kind of where is that going to be it for the night? Were you adamant, hey, I want one more?
Yeah, the plan was around 3, so it was good to get another one.
Based off what you've seen at practice, obviously there's only been two games, small sample size, what we've been able to see from the starting offense in the preseason game. But do you feel comfortable about your pocket and your protection so far, especially internally?
I do, yeah, I do. We'll make work with whatever we got, but I think it's been pretty good. And we didn't go up against the ones last week, but today we did, and I felt pretty comfortable back there.
Meanwhile, you did not see Trey Hendrickson play for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I don't think that's getting resolved anytime soon. They can't come to an agreement on a new deal. There's, of course, rumors put out there about what right now the Bengals are looking for in terms of trade, but I would guess this will be resolved over the next couple of weeks. Also, is there a chance the Washington Commanders move on from Brian Robinson Jr.? It certainly seems that way. He didn't play last night in their final preseason game. There's a chance they could trade or cut him. Terry McLaurin not on the field as well. Former Pro Bowler Matthew Judon has signed with the Miami Dolphins. They need more help up front, so they get him. And also, in case you missed this yesterday, Cam Ward, the quarterback of the Titans, fighting with his own player, Jeffrey Simmons, in camp. This shouldn't be happening this late in camp. Usually it happens at the beginning of camp. All right, meanwhile, in tennis at the Cincinnati Open, Carlos Alcaraz ends up taking another championship and battling his way through Jannik Sinner yet again. But this time it ended a little bit differently than it had in the past because Alcaraz and Sinner usually go toe-to-toe for like 4 or 5 hours. This one was over quickly because Sinner was injured and couldn't continue in the match. And afterwards, Alcaraz said that's not the way that he envisioned winning the Open. A new winning streak for the Milwaukee Brewers as they win again. And this time they beat the Cubs. Freddie Peralta, who has the most wins in baseball this season, went 6 scoreless and ended up taking the first game. They didn't get that second game in. It got rained out, so they'll have to try that again. The Giants, meanwhile, are putting the nail in the coffin to the Padres' hopes of winning the division. How about this? They score 4 runs in the first inning, the Giants do, and beat the Padres 4-3. Also, the Rockies get a rare win over the Dodgers. Warming Bernabel, rookie, ended up having a walk-off single, 4-3, the final in that game, as the Rockies could take any win that they can at this point at the end of the season. All right, now let's get to the latest with the Houston Astros and the Detroit Tigers. Very good series going back and forth here. Jack Flaherty pitched 7 innings. He gave up no earned runs. The Tigers are cruising toward the postseason, and they beat the Astros by a final score of 10-0. Meanwhile, how about the story in Baltimore with this Trevor Rogers, who came over from the Marlins, all of a sudden has returned. I believe he came back sometime in June. He's been awesome for them. 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run. His ERA is 1.43 on the season. Paul Skeens beat the Blue Jays. Final score, 5-2. Skeens' ERA, 2.16 on the season. And with Zach Wheeler likely out for the season, Skeens is headed toward the Cy Young Award.